Comrade Rosa and Salatane. Comrade Rosa going home the better, and Comrade Rosa beat Salatane.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop. It is episode 251 and is proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group and PlayUp. In this episode, we're going to preview our 6 runners for Saturday's Tattersalls Spring Raceday at Eagle Farm. Morning, Tony. Well, tomorrow does herald the first day of spring. Always an exciting time for racing all over Australia, and also it's the beginning of the breeding season.
Yes, I'm sure there's some very excited stallions out there, there's no doubt.
No doubt.
Busy time of the year. The spring carnival's really heating up. That's evident if you look at a few races down south tomorrow. The Memsie, what a cracking field in Melbourne for this first Group 1. And also the Concord in Sydney, the resumption of a lot of major players for the Everest. So there's some lot of good racing down there. We're going to focus on Eagle Farm.
Yep. A
small team, but a very strong team for us here in Brisbane.
Okay. We'll just talk about 2 of our spring hopefuls that are heading down south tonight. They put a smile on your face this week, both Zoustyle and Antino, when they had a 1,000-metre barrier trial on Tuesday, and Zooey's over there relaxing at the back of the box.
Yeah, got a late night ahead of him. He needs to relax. Him and himself and Antino both fly down tonight. Head to Flemington. Young Madison is down there with Skirt the Law. We'll look after them now for the next few weeks. Zoustyle kicks off next week. And the McEwen race he was narrowly beaten in last year. And Antino runs in at 2 weeks at Flemington. So very happy with their trial on Tuesday. I wouldn't have expected Antino to match it with the speeds like Rothfire and Zoustyle. He did a great job in third. To kick for a 7 furlong and above horse, I thought his trial was brilliant. Zoustyle done what he does best. In fact, he did it better than normally. He stepped better, got into a rhythm better, he relaxed better.
He did.
Look, under no pressure, the other horse with an eagle got to him late, but I think he's going terrific. He's in a really good space. I had a beautiful prep with him, so I'm looking forward to seeing these 2 horses get down to Flemington, settle in. If they can settle in as well as what the filly has down there, I'll be super happy over the next few weeks.
Okay. Before we launch into our preview, we have the winner to announce from last week's competition with the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. The prize was a $200 voucher for the Apron Restaurant at the Pullman at Brisbane Airport, and the winner is
Trish Lang. Yeah, good.
Yes, very good. Congratulations, Trish. A representative from the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group will be in contact with you about your prize. Okay, on to the preview of our runners for Eagle Farm on Saturday. The rail will be in the true position. The track is currently a good 4 with mostly sunny days ahead. The inside 5 metres has had a pretty good break from racing. How do you think it will play on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest. I don't know, it's been holding a bit of moisture, this track, and there is a bit of rain still forecast about, so...
A couple of storms.
Yeah, a few storms around. We were lucky to miss it yesterday at Doom, and it was coming around and sort of went round us, but yeah, I don't know how the track will play, whether they'll be wanting to shift off fence a little bit or not. We've seen Doomman play a little bit funny the last couple of weeks, but so Eagle Farm, I'm just going to go there with a true track. I think it'll play well. You're right, that inside has been rested, so whether that's going to be the place to be or not, we're in the luxury of not being in the first few races,
so
which I quite enjoy, so we can look for any perceived bias. But overall, the best horse to be winning here, so I've been comfortable with how the track's been playing.
We'll start with race 4, which is the benchmark 78 handicap over 2,200 metres. Kuda Tanier will run in this 56.5 kilos with Ben Thompson on board. He's drawn at barrier 7. With PlayUp, he is paying $4.80 to win and $1.85 for the place. He'll be fourth up into his prep on Saturday, and it was 4th up last prep when he did win over this distance. Last start he did loom early in the straight with a few others, but just there were some a little bit stronger than him late. You've made a couple of gear changes, the nose roll comes off and the blinkers go on.
See, the price of him at $4.85 is why there's lots of binoculars in second-hand shops, not many bookie bags.
Okay.
That's not very generous, bookmakers out there. For a horse that certainly lacks a killer punch, to have him at $5 is just horrific. He should be much better odds. I'm really happy with him. We've changed things around with him. We're trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat and let him have that bit of a finish. I thought he got a beautiful run the other day by Jimmy Orman, and I really thought he was there to finish, and he just flattened out much too quickly for my liking, I should say. So we put the blinkers on him. He's been right up and about in the bridle. I've done some jumping with him out at Embrook. I've really mixed things around to try and just spark him along a little bit to see if we can get that bit of extra out of him. If we can, he profiles well. These types of races, we talk about them every week. You could run them week on weekend with the same field and you're going to get a different result, most weeks. So hopefully it's his turn. I really did feel that last start it was going to be his turn, and he just couldn't pack that punch. So I think it's a key gear change, the blinkers. If it does the trick, we can get the money. But come on, bookies, give the punter a chance and wind him out a few notches.
Okay. Moving on to race 5, it is the 3-year-old fillies handicap, run over 1,000 metres. Instagood will run 52 kilos. Angela Jones will ride her. She's drawn at barrier 6. With PlayUp, she's paying $13 to win and $3.40 for the place. She was impressive winning on debut at Bow Desert 3 weeks ago. Gets her chance in town, drawn the middle with a nice lightweight on her back.
Yeah, I think we went this way for that reason. Get a lightweight, and early season 3-year-olds racing against their own age and sex. It's probably worthwhile. It's tricky going from Bow Desert Maiden to town. But I don't think it was just your average Bow Desert Maiden. It had a little bit of form about it, but just due to lack of options on grass tracks. So I wouldn't read into that as being a bush maiden. It's more of a provincial maiden.
Yeah.
I thought she did a really good job there, and you could just see her in the tight track. She really got going late.
Yeah.
The bigger stretches of Eagle Farm will suit her. She's always shown us above average ability, so it's not like I've never felt she'd be in this sort of race.
Yeah. She's
taking on a few good ones. I think Miss Kudu with the claim certainly looks well in. But she'll get a nice run just off speed and be strong late. So she's certainly one for your exotics, and I do expect her to run well.
Okay. We'll move on to race 7 now, which is the Colts, Geldings and Entires Class 6 plate over 1,200 metres. We'll have 3 runners in this. All that pizzazz, he'll carry 57.5 kilos. Ben Thompson will ride him. He has drawn barrier 1. He is second up on Saturday after a strong finishing second when first up at Doomben. 1 from 1 on the track, 2 from 3 when second up, and 2 from 2 when drawn gate 1.
Got good stats, hasn't he? Yeah, he's a really nice little racehorse. His first up run was terrific. Got out of his ground a touch more than probably what I expected first up, but he closed off really well, found the line nicely. You think step to 1,200 suits him. His record at Eagle Farm's been good, and like you said, when he draws good gates, he just lobs on the back of the speed, and that's going to be the case here. There's 2 or 3 that are going to go. I think he'll race a lot closer. He'll lob in the 1-1 or third defence, something like that.
Okay.
And he's going to be very well placed. He's a really nice little horse. We've got a good hand in this race. We'll go through the other 2 runners in a second. We've got a good hand in this race, but none are any better than him.
Okay. Mass Destruction is the second one we'll talk about. He'll carry 57.5 kilos. Jimmy Orman will ride him. He's drawn barrier 3. He's also second up after a fast finishing run first up to just miss an open company over the 1,000 metres. He doesn't have a great winning strike rate at this track or second up, but he's a very good place strike rate, and he is very consistent.
So his first up run was terrific. He really hit the line well. I've had a great build up with him. He had a long spell for a nice preparation ahead.
Yep.
This is a pretty key run for him. He ran well in a race similar to this last year before heading to the Wheatwood, and I want to go the same route again with him. So this is the right lead-in run. He's 21 days from his first up run, hopefully 21 days to his next. I'm super happy with him. He'll sit probably the 3rd back out of my 3 in this race, probably 3rd pair, something like that, and be very strong late.
Third runner we have in this race is Zarastro. He'll carry 54.5 kilos. Angela Jones will take the ride. He's drawn barrier 7. He is paying at $2.45 to win with PlayUp and $1.28 for the place. He's a talented 5-year-old, and he is third up this preparation, coming off a dominant 2.3 length win last start at this track and distance in a lower grade, but carrying a big weight. Better company, but a tricky gate. Does drop in weight though.
Fit as a fiddle, this horse comes right down in weight. Tricky gate for sure, but he's got lovely speed early. He'll roll forward, and if anything wants to lead him, they'll be going along a good clip, and we'll sit outside them. If not, we'll take it up. He's a lovely horse. He's going really, really well. I'd love to see a nice fair track for him, so I do think he'll possibly cross to a rail.
Yeah.
He's going good, this horse. He's very fit, very well. He's third up now. You know, he's beaten first up when he probably should have won.
Yeah.
He was dominant second up, and he's improved again into this. So he's a horse that we're going to have to probably get past, I feel. It's pretty hard to say this race for me out of the 3. I love my chances in it. There's another couple of good hopes in the race. John O'Shea's from Sydney. O'Day's been racing quite well as well, and there's others there, Rob Heathcote as well. So it's a pretty good race, this plate. It's a decent race. These 3 going good. I'm not going to split them, Claire. I'm just going to let the race unfold. You know, in running, we're going to have Zarastro, all that pizzazz, and then Mass Destruction is just going to be the best horse on the day.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, race 9 is the benchmark 78 handicap over 1,400 metres. Star of Chaos will take her place in this. 55 kilos. Angela Jones on board at barrier 12. With PlayUp, she's paying $5 to win and $2 for the place. Good lead all the way win last start at Doomben over the 1350 when the blinkers went on. Up in grade a little bit here, but a challenging draw for a go forward horse.
Yeah, I think the 7 furlong start's good, but isn't it? You got a lovely long run in. She's got lovely natural speed. We saw that she took control of the race quite quickly the other day.
Yeah.
And mind you, she was 1100 up to 1350 with a good space between runs. She's had a nice fortnight between runs into this, and she's fitter. She looks better.
Yeah, she does.
She'll roll forward with the light weight, and just very good barrier jockey. Is same like Jimmy Orman who rode her the other day, but she comes down in weight. So I think she's pretty well placed. I think she'll roll forward. She'll either be somewhere in the first 4. She can lead, sit outside lead, or 1-1. Doesn't really matter. And she's a tough mare to get past. And she's definitely found huge improvement off that Doomben win. So I quite like her. I think the price is actually okay for her. Unlike Craig Cavanoug's price, I'm not happy with earlier. I'm happy with Star of Chaos.
Okay, fair enough. We are into the final furlong of this week's Final Gallop. Who do you think your best winning chance at Eagle Farm on Saturday is?
You know what, I got some good chances. I feel I love my chance of winning that Enticing Golden's Class 6, but I don't want to put one in front of the other. I think they're 3 very interesting runners. So instead of doing my best winning chance, I'm going to break the rules, which I do from time to time.
Yes.
No doubt. I'm going to go 2 each way, the chances.
Okay.
I just think, just at the prices, I like Star of Chaos. You can back her each way around $5, $5.50.
Yep.
And I like all that pizzazz, just for the run he's going to get. Not that I don't like Zarastro or Mass Destruction. All 3 are going terrific. I could not be happy with them. I just think all that pizzazz, when he draws low, he just gets that right run, and you know he's going to be good to the line at 1200. So, and second up, he always improves. So for me, him each way, Star of Chaos each way, and you're going to get a return on your money.
Okay. Your best at the provincials over the next few days. We have Toowoomba on Saturday and the Sunshine Coast on Sunday.
Well, Sunshine Coast on Sunday, it's pretty tricky with that 10 metre or 9 metre rail there. You want to be in the first 4, otherwise you're absolutely wasting your time. Caesarus, I think, is a really good chance up there if she can draw low. And in Toowoomba, I've got her in up there as well. So wherever I sort of go with her, I think she's an outstanding chance fresh up. And Rum Revolution, she was close up in a maiden Ipswich the other day. She goes to Toowoomba for a maiden 1200. I think she's the right horse for a race like that.
Okay. Your best track worker this week?
Best track worker this week? I thought the paired up gallop I did between Mass Destruction and all that pizzazz, they worked terrific. Zarastro works on his own. He's a very aggressive sort of horse, and he's very, very fit, that horse. He worked really good for him because he went through his gears nice. But if I had to pick one piece of work I loved, I say it was all that pizzazz and Mass Destruction. Okay,
a couple to take out of the group of trialists we had on Tuesday.
I think we've nailed the 2 already. Cronenberg was really good as well. He had a bit of a setback. We had to back off him a little bit with a sore foot and get him back going. He's one to follow for this time of the year also. But for me, it was main 2 I was concerned about was Zoostyle and Antino, and I went away with a pretty big smile.
Okay. Your performance from the stable for the week?
Pretty low week really for us, but I'd have to say I won a race at Kilcoy on Saturday, which is a horse I didn't know if I was going to win a race with. And I got just as much thrill out of that as I have had for any winners I've had in the last probably 6 weeks. So White Ribbon,
yeah,
you know, with my sister being a partial owner with Linda Huddy, I think it's it was very, very fortunate for us. We got the win at Kilcoy, and probably suggested she'll win again. Placed well, so that's up to Mitch there to place her well. He's been doing a pretty ordinary job of placing her actually, and hopefully he can place her better. He had a bit of assistance from Craig Cavanough with that Kilcoy placement, so they might need to put their heads together and come up with the next one for me.
I was going to say, I don't think in the time that I've worked for you we've ever had a runner at Kilcoy.
No, and we got the job done, so it was bloody good.
Okay.
So White Ribbon, winner of the week.
Okay. Now, courtesy of PlayUp, it is time for the stable special. This week they're going to give you Star of Chaos with the price for her to be confirmed a bit later in the day. So we've had 14 weeks of these PlayUp specials with 6 cashing in. So for a $50 outlay, if you'd the maximum that you can have, the punters would have profited $325 so far.
Yes, that's pretty good, isn't it, really? That's up there. One of them stats last week, I think I asked for them, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
So Lockie's done really well there. He's crunched the numbers together. It just goes to show there is a bit of value on offer with these. I know you can't have a lot on, but for your $50, not too bad. You're getting a good ROI. Return on investment.
That is exactly right. Okay, speaking of return on investments or lack thereof, it is time for Cav's Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. One of his legs was scratched last week and the other finished second when it needed to win. This week, do you think he can turn the corner? Let's find out what he's got for us.
Welcome to Cav's Corner for this week. This week we'll go Eagle Farm Saturday, Zarastro a win. And then we'll venture up the hill on Saturday night and we'll go see Caesarus a win. Good punting, guys.
So he's gone Zarastro a win into Cesaris a win.
Zarastro into Caesaris.
Okay.
We will
Caesaris?
refer to her.
Okay.
Brian Henschel is he's a real stickler for getting the names right.
Okay.
So Caesaris, I know that because he's told me 600 times.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. She's going really well, Caesaris. We've scratched her from a couple of wide draws already, so I'm sweating on some barriers later on this Thursday, so we can get a good draw for her. She's going really well. Her trials have been terrific. Trialled the blinkers on the other day. She was nice and sharp, and she's much fitter now for work this week. So really happy with her and Zarastro. Look, he's going good. You're going to have the other two just stalking. So it's a good, very interesting race. That for me, it's my race of the day at Eagle Farm. Obviously, they got a big Tats race there, the 1400. We don't have a runner in it, so I couldn't really give two hoots. But this is the race for me. I think it's very interesting because it shapes a few of these horses' springs up here in Brisbane.
Okay. Good luck on Saturday at Eagle Farm, Tony. Tattersalls Racing Club always put on a really good day.
They do. It's always a good day, the Tats days. I'm fortunate enough to be a Tats member, so any of the guys out there who aren't members and want to join in, they should have a look at it. It's good membership there. It's a fantastic club to be involved in, and their racing component of that club is first class.
Best of luck to everyone on the weekend.